Hey everybody, they're new, they're blue, and they shoot guns better than you. It's Codex Tau Empire from Games Workshop. We're back now with another GMG review. Games Workshop was kind enough to send along a free review copy of Codex Tau Empire. I still think of them as the newest race in 40K. I remember a younger, slimmer, happier, less broken down by life Ash, taking pre-orders for the first Tau Codex back in, I think, 2001, when I was a part-time employee at a Games Workshop store in Scarborough, here in Ontario. And yeah, they were weird for the time. They are the technologically advanced colonialists, sort of showing off the hubris of a young upstart race who thinks they know better than everyone else. But now, geez, that would have been 3rd edition. So we're talking about 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th edition, 6 editions later, and probably 4 codexes. They are something else. They've got a storied history. They have heroes and villains. They have a gajillion different miniatures, and have had resculpts multiple times. So that even the venerable Crisis Battlesuit and actual basic Fire Warrior now have relatively modern kits. I gotta say, up until the next few months, they're doing better than the Eldar, who've been around since the beginning for newer model kits. Sorry, just to slide one last Eldar don't have new models joke in there before they all get new models, because they're previewing all that cool stuff right now. So anyway, let's jump in. This is a hefty codex. It's actually it's almost Space Marine thick. That's a good size, chunky codex. With a variety of stuff in it. Nice, big, sexy color section. Talking about just how, their technology baffles the humans, because the humans are like, wait, you have to light any candles or hit it or sing to it first? Like, I don't understand how this thing turns on. And they're basic sort of like expansionists. So we have the 1st and 2nd sphere expansions when they leave their homeworld, go into the Damocles Gulf, and then have a terrible breakdown in society because Oshova leaves, starts his own colony, breaks with the sort of like the rest of the empire and forms the Farside enclaves. The only sept to break with the rest of sort of like the homeworld and stuff like that. And of course Anva and the folks who rule, the ethereal cast. Also some cool background stuff. I didn't realize it was his sword keeping him alive now, and that's why he's been able to live for thousands of years or hundreds of years. Some beautiful color sections on painting the suits. I do like that the studio has started to walk back kind of the super clean, almost, I remember when these came out, it was almost the same time as the prequels for Star Wars. They just started coming out and the Droid Army was in, and I remember looking at these and being like, oh, it's like the Droid Army from Star Wars. They've kind of, the white and red suit has gained a lot of popularity recently, and they've done a lot of dirtying it up. So you can see here, they've actually done a lot of, they've started to apply actual like gunpla painting techniques and some sort of like, mecha figure painting techniques to their paint jobs in the studio recently, including everything from like dirt lining. They're using, just more traditional military modeling painting stuff on these suits, and just like the chip and damage and stuff on the edges. Something you wouldn't have seen in the studio before. They would have kept it super clean, but I love that they're grinding up the suits. Makes them look more realistic. This is kind of more the old style here, where everything's like lined and clean. The Farside stuff here too, but the new white suits, they've gone a long way to making them look dingy and grimy and actually used. And I don't know who you are, studio painter in the salt mines, basically painting all of these Tau, but you did a great job, and I love the look of the white and red studio collection for the Tau here. I don't know if that's an actual sept. It's probably that sept right there, Ash, that you're looking at, that you didn't actually think about the name of. Vorlord, sorry, I guess his name is sept. That looks like the name right there. Anyway, cool color scheme and great paint jobs. So, we're into the rules. Color section's over. Usual Codex stuff, Battleforge rules, Army rules, Match Play rules. Ooh, but check out my review of the Grand Tournament Pack. You only get to pick one of these now. No more just picking all 3. If they're good and they go together. Crusade rules, data sheets, word gear points, and rules reference. All right, so detachment abilities. Let's jump in here. The Tau Empire detachment is one that includes only Tau Empire keywords. A Farsight Enclaves detachment, because they're not the same army anymore, is one that includes models from the Farsight Enclaves keyword, excluding models of the Tau Auxiliary and unaligned keywords. The Tau Empire's detachment gains the Cadre Command ability. Farsight Enclaves gain the Independent Power ability. Tau Empire units, excluding the auxiliary units, and Tau Empire detachments gain the Sept Tenets, and troops in the Tau Empire detachments gain the Objective Secured ability. But interestingly enough, troops in Tau Empire, but not Farsight Enclaves. So Independent Power is not the same as Tau Empire. So only troops in Tau Empire gain OBSEC. Interesting. I wonder if that's a oversight. Cadre Command. You can include a maximum of 1 commander model in each detachment in your army, excluding Farsight Enclave detachments. You can include a maximum of 2 commander models in each Farsight Enclave detachment in your army. Independent Power, no ethereals in your Farsight Enclaves. And then Sept Tenets, if every unit from your army, excluding the auxiliaries, commanders, supreme commanders, and unaligned units, is from the same Sept, all Tau Empire units with this ability and all models with them gain a Sept Tenet. It's a selectable keyword though, so it all has to be the same in the 2021 chapter approved match play stuff. If you're playing open play or whatever, go crazy, mix and match. But if you're playing as match play stuff, if you care about all tournament stuff, you get to pick one. Septs are a selectable keyword. You get your Warlord Traits, Stratagems, and signature systems based on that Sept. So the Septs are almost identically laid out to all of the new faction stuff, so you get one of each. You get a Tenet, which is like your traits, kind of like the Custodian's Book, a Warlord Trait, a signature system, which is just a relic, and then focus a specific stratagem that you can do as well. So Tau, the homeworld. Again, this one's going to be really popular, I think. This is the yellow and black, the OG color scheme. If you are law's the other one. Each time you get with this Tenet selected to shoot or fight, you can reroll 1 hit roll or wound roll when resolving their attacks. So you get, basically, every unit gets 1 command CP per turn. Sorry, not per turn. Every single time they're picked to shoot or fight. Pretty damn good. Add 3 to the range of abilities, aura abilities for models with this Tenet to a maximum of 12, so all of your auras go up by 3 inches. And each time model with this Tenet intones an invocation, so your priest abilities for your ethereals basically, or uses an ability in your command phase that specifies a range, add 3 inches to it. So you can shout with your ethereals further, and your auras or command abilities or command phase stuff goes up by 3 inches. Warlord Trait, Strength and Conviction, 5+ Wound Shrug. Okay, I'll have my 5+ Wound Shrug robots. And then your signature system is a vectored maneuvering thrusters, +2 to your move characteristic. And once per battle round, when you're selected as the target of a charge, if it's not in engagement range, if any enemy units, you can use this relic. If it does, it can make a normal move until the end of the phase. The bearer cannot fire, overwatch, set, defend. And your opponent now selects a new target for the charge. So, or can select a new target for the charge. So basically you can just run away, and you get +2 to your move. 2 CPs for focused fire. Use a stratagem in your shooting phase when an enemy model loses any wounds as a result of an attack made by a Tau Sept model from your army. Until the end of the phase, each time a Tau Sept core model from your army makes an attack against any enemy units, against that enemy unit, add 1 to its wound roll. So as soon as you wound something, spend 2 CPs, the whole of your core units are +1 to wound against it. And let's see what's a core unit. Sorry, all the drones get their own thing. Core units are obviously not characters or commanders. There's so many characters and commanders now. God, it's annoying. Or long strike. But strike teams, breach teams, not any of the crisis battle suits get to reroll or get +1 to wound. Bodyguards get it. Stealth suits get it. Not ghost kills. Not your firesight marksman. Not your drones. Pathfinders do get it, Piranhas do not, Vespids do not, Kurt do not, Broadsides do, Riptides don't, Hammerheads don't, Skyrays don't, Devilfish don't, Razor Sharks don't, Sun Sharks don't, then obviously the terrain doesn't either. Storm Surge does not, although it's Titanic. Alright, so basically all of your actual Tau infantry and Crisis, like the smaller suits, all do as well. Not bad. I like it. It's meat and potatoes. If I didn't want to have to think too much, this is what I'd take. I got a runaway and hide commander who shrugs wounds on a 5+. I get to reroll one thing every time they're selected to shoot and fight. And I got 3 inches to all my ranges for my bubbles. So, and I get to add wound to wound. Tau Sept, nice and easy. Good starter Sept. Guerrilla. So their tenants. Strike fast. At the start of your first turn, for each unit from your army that's wholly within your deployment zone until the end of the turn, add 2 to the move characteristic of models in that unit. Oh god, that's worded terribly. At the start of your first turn, for each unit from your army that is wholly within your deployment zone until the end of that turn, add 2 to the move characteristic of models in that unit. So what? If I have 12 units in my deployment zone, I can add 24 inches to the move characteristic of models in my unit? What? Okay, the wording on that. I don't know what they mean. They mean that if you're wholly within your deployment zone, your units get +2 to their move. The reading of that is, for each unit from your army that's wholly within your deployment zone until the end of the turn, add 2 to the move characteristic of models in that unit. So, basically, my guys can walk plus double the number of unit times as long as they stay inside my deployment zone. There's 2 ways of reading that. I would just say any units as opposed to for each unit. At the start of your first turn, any units that have deployed wholly within your deployment zone, add 2 inches to the move characteristic for that turn. There's just a much better way of wording that. You can reroll advance and charge rolls for units with this tenant. Okay, Strike Fast needs an FAQ. It's horribly worded. Warlord Trait, Academy Luminary. While this warlord's on the battlefield, each time you spend a command point to use a Tau Empire Strategic Deployer or Tau Empire Warrior Stratagem, roll 1d6 on a 3+, the command points are refunded. So get your command points back, sweet. Signature system, this one's kind of neat actually. Armored automated defenses. As part of your shooting phase, just roll a die. On a 2 to 4, the closest enemy with an 18 invisible takes a mortal wound. On a 5+, they take D3 within 12. So yeah, you just got little gun turrets on your stuff that goes boo, 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 and shoots everything that's nearby on a 2+. It's definitely stabby. And then Hot Blooded, use a stratagem in your shooting phase. When a Guerrilla unit from your army is selected to shoot until the end of the phase, each time a model in that unit, excluding drones, makes an attack that targets the closest eligible unit. Unmodified rolls of 6 inflict a mortal wound, in addition to any normal damage. Maximum of 6 mortal wounds. So you just walk up and you shoot with a big fat unit of fire warriors, fish for 6s to wound, and do mortals. And just on top of your normal damage. So good for like a spray and pray unit with tons of shots. It's 2 CPs. You'd want to spend on a very big unit, try and maximize your mortal wounds. Sashi, I'm gonna just butcher these names, just you get ready. So Sakia, Sashia, Sasha, Septenant, Master of Urban Warfare. Each time a ranged attack against targets a vehicle with this tenant, if the attacker is more than 18 away, the target is treated as having the benefit of dense cover. Each time a ranged attack targets an infantry unit that's more than 12 inches away, then the target is treated as having the benefit of dense cover. And vehicle and battlesuit models of this tenant do not suffer the penalty to their hit rolls for firing heavy weapons at enemy units that are within engagement range. So they're street fighters. Warlord Traits, Strategic Conqueror. In your command phase, select one friendly that unit from within 9 inches of this warlord. Until the start of your next command phase, the unit gains OBSEC. If the unit already has this ability, models count as one additional model for controlling objective marker. Signature system, Grab Inhibitor Field. At the start of the fight phase, all enemy units within engagement range of the bear are not eligible to fight until after all eligible units from your army have done so. And each time a melee attack is made by the bear, subtract 1 against the bear, subtract 1 from the hit rolls. So -1 to hit in melee, and you make people fight last. Then Orbital Uplink. 1 CP, use a stratagem in your shooting phase, select 1 enemy unit. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in a unit for your army makes a ranged attack against the enemy unit, the target does not benefit from cover. This one's not that bad. Daleth, Septenant, Trading Partners. It's a good trade. Each time a ranged attack is made against an infantry unit with this tenant, if the attacker is not within engagement range of that unit, models in that unit benefit from light cover. And if you select a tactical philosophy at the start of the battle, Tau auxiliary units that are in the same detachment benefit from the army selected tactical philosophy. So you're basically good at trading with your alien partners. Warlord trait, Unifying Influence. You gain the following abilities. Diplomatic Excellence, it's an aura. When a friendly Daleth or Tal auxiliary unit, excluding characters within 6 of this warlord, +1 leadership to the unit. And then Integrated Command Structure, an aura. While a friendly Tal auxiliary unit within 6 of this warlord, that unit's treated as having the Tal auxiliary keyword, as not having it for marker lights. So basically you can use your marker light points on the non-Tal auxiliaries, or on the Tal auxiliaries as if they were non-Tal auxiliaries. Signature system, Dynamic Mirror Field. Get a 5+ invo, and the bear cannot be selected as a target for range attack unless it's the closest eligible target, or the firing model is within 12 of it. And then Outflank, 1 CP. Use a stratagem at the end of your movement phase. Select one friendly Daleth core unit or Tau auxiliary unit from your army that's within none of any battlefield edge. If the mission you are playing is using strategic reserves, you can remove that unit from the battlefield and place it in strategic reserves. So you can hit and run and change sides. All right, then we're into Borkin. You're corking for a Borkin. Subtenant, Superior Craftsmanship. Add 4 to the range characteristic of your range weapons. And each time an attack is made with a weapon that has a strength of 7 or less against a vehicle or battlesuit with this tenant, it's -1 strength. That's pretty cool. So that basically means that, you know, strength 4 guns become strength 3. Strength 5 guns become strength 4. That can be a big deal for toughness 7 and 8 stuff. Warlord trait, Seeker of Perfection. Each time this warlord makes a range attack, its AP is improved by 1. And an unmodified wound roll of 6 inflicts a mortal wound on the target in addition to any normal damage to a maximum of 3 per phase. And then your signature system, Overdrive Power Systems, command model only. Select up to 2 range weapons this model is equipped with. Each time the bear makes a range attack with one of those weapons that targets the unit within half, add 1 to the wound roll. So +1 to wound for your close-up stuff. These are the craftsmen. They're the Earthcast bros. And then Experimental Weaponry for 2 CPs. It's an epic deed. Use this in your shooting phase when a Borkin unit from your army is selected to shoot. Select 1 model in that unit and 1 weapon that they're equipped with until the end of the phase. Each time models make an attack with that weapon, no invols. I mean, there's enough stuff in this army that ignores invols anyway, but that's nice that you could just make other things ignore invols too. Who needs invulnerable saves? I mean, they're the shooting army. They're basically tinned fish otherwise, and you can just stave their heads in, so they need to have really scary guns. And then Farside Enclaves, the Sept that is not a Sept. Their Septenant, Devastating Counterstrike. Each time a model with this, it's because they hold the knife when they run. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Each time a model with this tenant makes a range attack that targets a unit within 12, the target is treated as having a marker light token. So free marker lights within 12. And each time a unit with this tenant is selected to shoot or fight, you can reroll 1 wound roll when resolving its attacks. So they get half of the basic Tau one, but they also get to get free marker lights within 12. So make them up close fighters. And then your Warlord trait, Master the Killing Blow. When you make an attack, unmodified wound roll of 6 improves the AP by 3, and the model that attack is allocated to cannot use any rules to ignore the wounds it loses. So that's pretty cool for killing certain characters, certain Gazgul Thrakas. And then your signature system, and actually there's a couple things now actually that screws over. Signature system, Talisman of Arthas Moloch. In your opponent's psychic phase, the bearer can attempt to deny 1 psychic power and add 1 to its Deny the Witch tests. So, yeah, that's a pretty cool killing. I mean, the Master Killing Blow is a pretty cool trait because your Warlord could be in a suit with like fusion blasters and you could just walk over and annihilate, right? Because you can reroll a wound roll and also you have a free marker light and then no ignoring wounds. And on a wound roll of 6, you also get to be a AP almost infinite with pretty much everything. And then your 1 stratagem drops on clear. Use stratagem in your movement phase when a Farsight Enclave's battlesuit unit from your army is selected set up on the battlefield using the Manta Strike ability or the Homing Beacon action. Until the end of the turn, each time a battlesuit model in that unit makes a ranged attack, you can reroll the hit roll and you can reroll the wound roll. If this unit contains 4 more battlesuit models, the stratagem costs 3, otherwise it costs 2. So, yeah, by model. So each time a model in that unit makes a ranged attack, you can reroll the hit roll and the wound roll. So reroll everything when you show up. Ho-ho! That's pretty great. Big fat battlesuit unit rerolls everything. All right, the make your own sept rules. I'm not a fan of this. A lot of these There's been a lot of takes on how to do this. I get why this has been done this way. It's to make for a flavorful experience in creating your own sept. Basically, the further you are from the homeworld, you have to chain off basically how you take your rules. So if your chosen sept doesn't have an associated sept, you can either select the allied world sept tenant opposite or select 2 tenants from the sector list shown in the following pages. Due to the slower migration of ideas and technologies across the Tau, when selecting your second one, the following rules apply. The tenant cannot be chosen from the same sector as the first, and the tenant must be selected from an adjacent sector. So basically, you have to go adjacent. Sure. If a character model with a tenant and then an allied world, select one of the following septs and use the tenant from the sept listed on page 5661. If a character model from this tenant gains a Warlord trait, they can have the sept Warlord trait. If they don't, replace all the keywords with your own name. So basically, you can be an allied world to one of the major septs. All right. So make your own sept. So if you're in this one, basically you can pick red and then pick your second from any of them. It's in the middle. So your first one, if it's from red, then you're freely able to mix these. If you're blue, you can only take red or yellow. So this one can only take from these. If you're yellow, same thing, red or blue. If you're green, red or purple. And then if you're purple, red or green. So basically, these are locked out from each other. There's never a way to combine blue and purple or green and yellow. This is gonna get screwed up by people, guaranteed. They're gonna mix and match wrong. This will be one of those things where someone makes a mistake. And yeah, I liked the way they did in the Gene Stealer cults where they just assigned them values and they could add up to 4. It was just more cut and dry. It's thematically neat. I don't know that it adds anything other than making it slightly confusing. But yeah, basically these plus this, or these plus each other. That's it, and you pick one of each. So Sector A, strike swiftly at the start of the first battle round before the first turn begins. Infantry units from your that start the battle round wholly within your deployment zone can make a normal move to 6 inches. They cannot end this move within 9 of the enemy deployment zone or enemy models. Well, that would have been a better way to word that other one, the Viorla one. Play their part. Battlesuit models of this tenant have a win characteristic of 9 or less, count as 3 models when controlling an objective. And for 10 or more, they count as 5 models. And then adherence to the teaching, add 3 to your auras, and 3 to your command phase stuff, the same as the Tau one. And then calm under pressure. Each Tau model of this tenant makes a ranged attack with an assault weapon that targets a unit within 12, add 1 to its strength. All right, Sector B, camo experts. If you're more than 12 away from infantry, you get dense cover. And you're within a terrain feature, sorry. Defensive doctrines, when your melee -1 or -2 AP is allocated to a model of this tenant, it's treated as 0. So you ignore -1 or -2 AP when you're in melee. Blocking tactics, each time a core infantry unit with this tenant makes a charge move, until the start of your next charge phase, core models in this unit have OBSEC. If such a model already has this ability, it counts as additional model. So it's a way to give your models OBSEC when they charge. And then Firecast Marksman, each time a model of this tenant makes a ranged attack with a pulse weapon, on a wound roll of 6, its AP is improved by 1. Sector C, evasion maneuvers. When a model of this tenant advances until the start of your next movement phase, if models in the unit can fly, have a 5+ invul against ranged attacks only. Pinpoint targeting, each time a model in this tenant makes a ranged attack that targets a unit within 12, they don't get light cover. Disengagement protocols, each time an infantry unit with this tenant is selected to fall back. Select one enemy unit with an engagement range of that infantry and roll a die. On a 2 to 3, they take a mortal wound. On a 6, they take D3. What? On a 2 to 3, they take 1 mortal wound. On a 6, they take D3. What happens if I roll a 4 or a 5? Oh my god. Okay. So I'm guessing that's a 2 to 5. They take a mortal wound, and on a 6, they take D3. But right now, if I roll a 1, a 4, or a 5, nothing happens. Yeah, okay. Fire saturation. Each time a model of this tenant makes a ranged attack with a burst weapon that targets a unit within 12, add 1 to their hit roll. So you can get a +1 hit or a +1 strength. And you can combine these. So you can go calm under pressure, fire saturation. And if you're within 12 and you have an assault weapon or a burst weapon, you get +1 hit and +1 strength. Sector D, Reliable weaponry. Each time a unit with this tenant selected to shoot, you can reroll 1 wound roll. Defenders of the cause. Each time a model with this tenant would lose a wound as a result of a mortal wound on a 5+ not lost to get a mortal wound shrug. Reinforced armor, -1 strength if your characteristic attack is 7 or less against a vehicle battle suit. And then hardened warheads. Each time a model with this tenant makes a ranged attack with a missile weapon. Target does not receive the benefits of cover. And then turbojets. You get to add 2 to the move characteristic of models that can fly. Loyal to the end. Add 2 to the leadership characteristic of models of this tenant. Or sorry, add 1, sorry. And each time a morale test is taken for a unit with this tenant, you can reroll the test. Rapid retreat. When you fall back, you're +3 to your move. And enriched reactors. Each time a model of this tenant makes a ranged attack with a plasma weapon, a modified wound roll of 6 does a mortal wound and the attack sequence ends. But you lose any additional damage, which is interesting. And so that's it. You could be like reinforced armor, rapid retreat, or reinforced armor, turbojets. Or you could be reliable weaponry and then play their part. So you can combo these up and make some interesting sets, but you don't get a relic, you don't get a bespoke warlord trait. And then we're into stratagems. And again, many stratagems. So, breach and clear. Using your shooting phase, when a breacher team is selected to shoot until the end of the phase, each time a core model in that unit makes a ranged attack, no cover, and reroll the wound roll for 1 CP. That's pretty cool for a big fat unit of breachers. Relentless Fusillade for 1 CP. Use in your shooting phase when a strike team from your army is selected to shoot until the end of the phase. Instead of following the normal rules for rapid fire, your unit shooting pulse rifles make double the number of attacks. And each time a core model in that unit makes a ranged attack, improve its AP by 1. So for 1 CP, basically, you can rapid fire out to your full range, or just double your attacks at the full range, and you get +1 AP. So something for both types of your basic fire warriors. Onboard sensors for 1 CP. Using the start of your shooting phase, select a devilfish model from your army and 1 enemy unit within 24 invisible. Until the end of the phase, that devilfish model gains the following ability: Sensor Link. When a friendly fire warrior team within 6 of this model, each time a model in that unit makes a ranged attack and then selected enemy unit, reroll hit rolls of 1. So you could basically buy a reroll of 1 as an aura for your fire warriors around a devilfish. Makes devilfish actually kind of useful. They're like little baby captains. Dynamic offensive. Each time a unit advances, do not make a, this is for crisis battle suits in your movement phase. Each time a unit advances, do not make an advance roll, you just add 6, and models in that unit do not suffer the penalty to hit rolls for firing assault weapons when they advance. So for 1 CP, +6 inches of movement, and no penalties to your assault weapons. Pulse Onslaught, use it for your fire warriors in the shooting phase, when they're selected to shoot. Until the end of the phase, each time a core model in that unit makes an attack with a pulse weapon, a modified hit roll of 6 automatically wounds. So again, I don't think the drones aren't core. So basically when it keeps calling out the core models in these units, it's because you attach drones to them. They don't get these benefits, basically. So worth noting. Point blank volley, use a stratagem in your shooting phase. Select a fire warrior team that's within engagement range of any enemy units. Until the end of the turn, pulse blasters, pulse carbines, and pulse rifles are pistol 2. So you can just shoot into melee. For 1, again, all of these are 1 CP. They're all nice and cheap ways of shooting. But again, it's once per phase, right? So like that unit in combat, if you have 3 fire warrior units there, you gotta pick 1 to be able to shoot with. 3 or 2 for drop threat acquisition, using your movement phase when a battle suit unit from your army is set up in the battlefield using Manta Strike or Homing Beacon. Until the end of the turn, each time a battle suit model in that unit makes a ranged attack, you can reroll the hit roll. If the unit contains 4 or more, it costs 3, otherwise it costs 2. So basically, you get a light version of the Farsight one. You don't get the wound roll reroll though. Savior protocols for Tau Empire. Use this stratagem in any phase when a saving throw has failed for a model in a SEP unit from your army. Select a friendly SEP drone model within 3 or within 6 of that unit if it contains a model equipped with the drone controller. The drone is destroyed and the damage characteristic of the attack has changed to 0. So basically, Savior protocols is once per turn, 1 drone is destroyed and the damage is, you fail 1 save, that hits damage goes to 0. So you want to roll like, if the knight hits you with the harpoon, make that save, fail it, then spend your CP and have the drone eat the harpoon for 10 damage. But you're getting it once per turn. So once the Savior protocol has been popped, you can't use it again. A branched Nova charge for 2 CPs. Use stratagem in your command phase when a Riptide battlesuit model from your army uses its Nova reactor ability and it burns out. That model's Nova reactor does not burn out, and you can select one of its reactor abilities. This stratagem cannot be used to prevent the same model's reactor from burning out more than once per battle. So basically, you can, for 2 CPs, you can not have your Nova reactor burn out on each of your Riptides once per game. Combat disembarkation or debarkation, 1 CP. Use the start of your movement phase. If you select the Mont-Ka tactical philosophy at the start of the battle, and it's the first, second, or third battle round, select up to 3 devilfish from your army. If you select the Kion tactical philosophy at the start of the battle, and it's the third, fourth, or fifth battle round, select 3 devilfish. Otherwise, select 1 devilfish. Until the end of your end of the phase, each time one of the models makes a normal move, after it's moved, any unit embarked within the transport can disembark. Any unit that does so cannot charge this turn. So basically, you can get, if you're Mont-Ka, then you're playing, I guess, defensively, offensively, so it's first, second, or third turn. Guys can move and then get out. If you're playing as Kion, you're playing defensively, so third, fourth, and fifth turn, then you can move and get out. A great way to like push onto objectives, because you're basically getting that like devilfish move plus range disembark plus your normal walk. So, 8-inch extra devilfish plus 8 inches. You can have guys flying 20 inches across the board for a CP, and timing it will be when it's the most important. Wisdom of the Many. Use a stratagem at the start of your of any of your phases other than your command phase. Select 1 ethereal unit from your army that does not intone an invocation this turn. That model can intone 1 invocation that has not already been intoned by a friendly model this turn. That invocation is automatically inspiring and takes effect until the start of your next command phase. So basically 2 CPs, don't have to roll. Failsafe Detonator, 1 CP. Use stratagem in any phase when a battlesuit model from your army is destroyed. Before moving from play, any rolls that would trigger the explosion. Roll a d6 for each unit within 3 of that model, adding 1 to the roll if the destroyed model has a wound characteristic of 12 or more. On a 3 to 5, they take d3 mortal wounds. On a 6, they take 3 flat mortal wounds. So you kind of, you basically, you don't auto trigger, but you blow up. Backup AI, 1 CP, use a stratagem in your command phase, select 1 Tau Empire model in your army. Until the start of your next command phase, that model is considered to have its full wounds remaining for the purpose of determining the characteristic on its profile. So come back to life, or come back online. That's any Tau Empire model in your army. 1 CP for emergency dispensation. Use stratagem before the battle when you're mustering your army. If your warlord has the Tau Empire keyword, select 1 Tau Empire character model in your army and give them 1 relic. Each relic in your army must be unique, and you cannot give a model 2 relics. So twice if you're strike force, 3 if you're onslaught. So extra relic buy. Promising pupil, extra warlord trait buy. Same thing. Orbital ion beam. So this is your strategic ploy for 2 CPs. Use it in your command phase. Place 2 ion beam markers anywhere in the battlefield within 12 of each other. At the start of your next command phase, draw an imaginary line between them, and then roll a d6 for each model, adding 1 if they're a building. On a 2 to 5, they take d3 mortal wounds. On a 6, they take 3 mortal wounds. Then the ion beam is removed. So you're basically shooting a laser from the Hammer of Dawn's online, and you shoot a laser across the battlefield. For 1 CP, the Wall of Mirrors. Use stratagem at the end of your movement phase. Select 1 stealth battlesuit or ghost kill battlesuit unit from your army that's wholly within 9 of any battlefield edge. Remove them from the battlefield, and the reinforcements of your next movement phase. Set them up anywhere in the battlefield that's wholly within 9 of the battlefield and more than 9 for the enemy. If the battle ends and they're not in the battlefield, they're destroyed. You just disappear and show up again. The Grisly Feast. Use this stratagem in the fight phase when an enemy unit is destroyed by an attack made by a model in a crew unit. Until the end of the battle, each time a model in that crew unit would lose a wound on a d6 on a 5+, a wound's not lost. So for 1 CP, when you destroy an enemy unit with an attack made by a crew unit, then they just get a 5+ wound shrug because they've now eaten. They're feeling better about everything. We're into coordinated engagement for 1 CP. Use stratagem in your shooting phase before selecting a unit to shoot with. Select an enemy unit and 2 sept units from your army. They're within 18 invisible to the enemy unit. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in one of those sept units makes an attack, the attack can only target that enemy unit. Improve the AP characteristic of the attack by 1. So it's pretty cool. You're picking a unit from army within 18 and then just explode them. But you get +1 AP. And then a Trap Well Laid for 1 CP. Use it in the Heroic Intervention step of the opponent's charge phase. Select a Crute unit from your army. It's not in engagement range. Until the end of the turn, add 1 to the attack characteristic of the models in that unit. That unit can perform a Heroic Intervention, and that unit can perform it within 6 and move 6. Recon sweep for 1 CP, using your shooting phase when a Pathfinder team unit from your army successfully completes the fire marker light action. Each time you roll to see if the enemy unit gains a marker light token as a result of that action completing, add 1 to the roll. And that unit can then make a normal move. That's pretty cool. So you can move and you can basically marker light and move. Shocking Firestorm for 1 CP, using your shooting phase when a sept unit from your army is selected to shoot. Select 1 enemy unit within 18 of that sept until the end of the phase. Each time a model in that unit is destroyed as a result of the attack made by a model in that sept unit, it counts as 2 destroyed models for morale tests. So you make an example out of them. We didn't just shoot that guy. We shoot that guy like we shot RoboCop in the beginning of RoboCop. We Clarence Boddickard that guy. Counterfire defense system, 1 or 2 CPs. Use a stratagem in your opponent's shooting phase. When an attack is, that's the name of my Tau Fire, my Tau commander now is going to be Clarence Boddicker. The world's greatest villain, Red Foreman. Use a stratagem in your opponent's shooting phase. When an attack is allocated to a counter-fire defense system model from your army, the damage characteristic of that attack is changed to 1. If that model wounds a character, has a wound characteristic of 14 or more, it costs 2, otherwise it costs 1. So basically, if someone has counter-fire defense system, the damage of the attack characteristic is changed to 1. So who's got counter-fire defense system? Who does this actually get used for? It's usually big boys. Is it going to be on the Riptide or the Ghost Kill? Not the Ghost Kill, the big guy. He's got, nope, doesn't have it. Who's got this? Who's got this stupid rule? Riptide maybe? Counter-fire defense system. I don't see this keyword anywhere. Broadsides? No. No. Ghost Kills, got the Ghost Kill keyword. Does anyone have this? Counterfire defense system. I just don't see it. Maybe it's an upgrade. I don't see counterfire defense system anywhere. It must be an upgrade. Unless it's on one of the drones. Nope. Infantry. If rulers of interact with train features, the model does not have the infantry keyword. Doctor, they don't get the keywords of their units. Who's a counterfire? Okay. When an attack is allocated to a counterfire defense system model from your army. I don't know. I don't see anybody that actually has that keyword. That's gonna break my brain if it's not in here. Unless it's a relic maybe you can take. Is it a special system? Looking at the prototype systems. No. Alternating Fusion Blaster. I see sensory negation countermeasures. Counter fire defense. It's bolded like it's when an attack is allocated to a counter fire defense system model with you from your army. It's clearly bolded like it's a keyword. The drones don't have it. Oh my god, this is killing me. Drone shield, marker light. Chasson doesn't. Commander Farsight doesn't. Interesting how she has Supreme Commander, but he doesn't. Crazy. Commanders don't. Counterfire defense system. Oh, there it is. Okay, you gain the keyword. So there it is. It's an upgrade the commander can have. She doesn't have it, so she can't buy it. He doesn't have it either. So a commander can buy our counterfire defense systems. Sorry, not a Cold Star one. A just regular Crisis Battlesuit can buy that keyword. So you have to take an upgrade to get it. And then, does anybody else get it? How is Anvan not a Supreme Commander either? Oh my god. I think that's it. Can anybody else buy it? Nope, marker lights. I don't see it. It's just for that. Oh wait, the Crisis Bodyguards can buy it. So just Crisis Suits basically get counterfire defense systems. Can the stealth teams get it? No. Ghost Kills can't. Anybody else? Any of the big boys? Because the big boys are the ones that would want it. The broadsides can't. The Riptide can buy it. Okay, so the Riptide can buy it. That's pretty cool. Being able to make something damage 1 with a counterfire defense system. That's a huge deal against certain guns. And then can you buy it for the Storm Surge? Can buy it as well. Okay, so that's who can buy it. So use a stratagem in your shooting phase when an attack is allocated to them. The damage characteristic attack is changed to 1. And it's going to cost you 2 if you're a big boy. It's going to cost you 1 if you're not. Does the Riptide have 14 wounds? It has 14 wounds. So it's good cost 2 for your big boys to get it, but basically you can make all of the damage characteristic of the attack to 1. Yeah, it's when an attack is allocated to a counterfire defense system model from your army. The damage of that attack. So does that mean all the attacks? All the guns being fired? Or does that just mean the one attack? I don't know. I would say the attacks a model makes. Because it's not after a failed save. It's when the attack is allocated. Interesting. I have to reread the core rules to try and understand it a little bit better. But it sounds like when you are attacked, you can just reduce the damage characteristic of that attack to 1. So everything in that attack roll, or just the one weapon being fired? I don't know. Designated tasking for 1 CPs. Use stratagem in your command phase. Select 1 Tau Empire unit from your army that's not within engagement range. And contains both drone and models without the drone keyword. Split that unit into 2 units, 1 containing all the drones and 1 not. So basically you pop off your drones. If any of those drone models are docked with another model, set them up within 1 inch. And before splitting the unit, those drones are no longer docked to that model. So basically you can pop your drones off your ships. Strike and fade for 1 or 2. Use it to start your shooting phase. Select 1 Tau Empire jetpack unit from your army. That unit can shoot. You can shoot with that unit and then make a normal move up to 6 inches. The unit cannot shoot again this phase. If that unit has 5 for your models, excluding drone models, it costs 1, otherwise it costs 2. So jetpacks, that means your suits and stuff can shoot and scoot. Frequency lock, 1 CP. Use stratagem in your shooting phase when a Tau Empire model from your army is selected to shoot. Until the end of the phase, each time model that model makes an attack with a Seeker Missile, Seeker Missile Rack, or Destroyer Missile, the attack can target units with 1 or more marker light tokens that are not visible, and add 1 to the attack's wound roll. So when you're shooting Seeker Missiles, Seeker Missile Racks, or Destroyer Missiles, basically just shoot anything, even if it's not visible, that's +1 to wound. Neuroweb System Jammer for 1 CP. Use a stratagem in your shooting phase. Select 1 enemy unit with an 18 invisible to a Neuroweb System Jammer unit from your army. Roll a die on a 3+. Until the start of your next shooting phase, each shot model in that enemy unit makes a ranged attack, subtract 1 from the attack's hit roll. Repulsor Impact Field. Use the stratagem in your opponent's charge phase when a battle suit unit from your army is selected as the target of a charge. -2 the charge roll. For any units that declare charges against them. Ionized Shock Field for 2 CPs. Use stratagem in your shooting phase when a model in an enemy unit is destroyed as a result of an attack made by an ion weapon from a set model in your army. Until the start of your next shooting phase, enemy unit is not affected by the aura abilities of other enemy units. So basically you don't get your auras on that unit if they get hurt by it. Submunitions, 1 CP. We've seen this on Warhammer Community. Your railgun turns into a exploding railgun. Pick an enemy unit within 36 and visible, and not within engagement of any units from your army. Roll a d6 for each model in that unit. Adding 1 to the roll if it has 11 or more models. For every 4+, it takes a mortal wound to a maximum of 8. So you just explode a big unit. And then photon grenades, used in your opponent's charge phase when a photon grenade unit from your army is selected as the target of a charge by an enemy unit, excluding vehicles and monsters. Until the end of your next turn, -2 to charge rolls. And each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you're -1 to the attack's hit roll for a CP. You flashbang them. All right, we're into prototype systems. If your army's battle-forged and includes any Tau Empire detachments, you can use these, and you can give them to the following models: Commander models, any Crisis Shazvray models, Crisis Bodyguard Shazvray models, and Ghost Keel Shazvray models. So no giving these to the super big guys. Now they cost either power points, and the points are for your Alternating Fusion Blaster 25, Dominator Fragmentation Launcher 25, DW02 Advanced Burst Cannon is going to cost 15. And EH Disruption Suites 30. Internal Grenade Racks are 15. Nova Surge Plasma Rifles 20. Resonator Warheads are 30. Sensory Negation Countermeasures are 15. Starflare Ignition Systems 20. Stim Injectors are 10. Thermoneutronic Projectors are 20. And Wide Spectrum Scanners are also 20. Now here's my question. Did any of that already change? Other things don't even have points in here. Wait, no, that's Tyranids. Tau? I don't see the point values for any of these things in here at all. Oh, no, wait, they are in here. They are Nova Surge Plasma Rifle 20, 30, 15, 20, 20, 20. No, they're the same. They're all the same. Looks like it's the same. Hooray! Consistency. So the Star Flare ignition system, Cold Start Commander only. Once per battle, when the bearer starts or ends a move, or when it uses its high altitude maneuvers ability, it can use this prototype system. If it does, roll a 1d6 for each of the other unit within 3 of this model, and 2+ take D3 mortal wounds. You explode as you take off, basically. Oh, and sorry, named characters can't have these, and they're all 1 per army. Sensory negation countermeasures. It's a commander or crisis model only. Once per battle, at the start of the fight phase, the bearer can use this prototype system. If it does, select 1 enemy unit within engagement range of the bearer's unit until the end of the next turn. Each time a model in that unit makes an attack, subtract 1 from the attack's hit roll. So you must want to hit. Alternating Fusion Blaster. It's for commander or crisis models only, and they have to have a Fusion Blaster already. It is range 12, assault 1, 8 minus 4, d6 plus 2. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, if a hit is scored, draw a straight line between the closest point of this model's base and that of the closest model in the target unit. Make a wound roll against the target unit and every other unit this line passes over. What? So, yeah, line up some dreadnoughts. Line up some, I don't know, individual small units that are multi-wound and then just nuke them. Definitely line up vehicles within 12 and then just shoot the furthest one and go vroom. DW02 Advanced Burst Cannon, Commander Crisis model equipped with 1 or more burst cannons only. This prototype system replaces 1 burst cannon and has the following profile. And same with the Alternating Fusion Blaster, it only replaces 1. It is range 18, assault 8, 6 minus 1, 1 damage. And you cannot use any rules to ignore the wounds you lose when you take a wound from this model. So that's pretty cool. Again, Gazgul's going to hate that. A Nova Surge Plasma Rifle. It's a Commander Crisis model only with a Plasma Rifle. It's range 30, assault 1, 8 minus 5, 3 damage. No invulnerable saves. Well, that's going to be a Terminator killer right there. A Thermoneutronic Projector, Commander Crisis only. It is going to replace a Flamer. It's range 12, assault d6 plus 2, 4 minus 2, 2 damage. And then in melee, 4 minus 2, 2 damage. And each time you fight, you make d6 plus 2 additional attacks with this weapon. But you do roll to hit with it. So it's a Flamer that rolls to hit. But you get it in melee, which is kind of cool. And you get additional d6 plus 2 attacks with it. A Dominator Fragmentation Launcher. Commander Crisis model equipped with 1 or more air-bursting fragmentation projectors only. It's assault d6, 24-inch range, 5 minus 2, 1 damage blast. This bearer can target units that are not visible, and each time the unit shoots with this weapon, if any hits are scored until the end of the turn, you're minus 4 leadership on the target unit. Holy moly, because it's scary. Internal grenade racks, so you open up and your Robotech missiles shoot at your shoulders and stuff. Once per turn after this model is moved in your movement phase, you can select an enemy unit moved across and roll a d6 on a 2+ and take d3 mortal wounds. So once per turn, you can fly over and nuke people. Resonator Warheads, Commander or Crisis model equipped with 1 or more missile pods only. It replaces a missile pod as assault 3, 8 minus 2, 2 damage. Each time the bearer shoots with this weapon, if any hits are scored against infantry, beast, or cavalry until starting next shooting phase, that have their move characteristic. And then EH Disruption Suite, it's a Ghost Kill Battlesuit model only. Once per battle in your command phase, the bearer can use this prototype system. If it does, the bearer can use this prototype until the start of your next command phase. So you get the following aura, EH Disruption. Well, an enemy's units within 12 inches of this model. Each time your opponent selects that unit to shoot or fight, increase the CP cost of this stratagem by 1. Sorry. Each time your opponent uses a stratagem when that unit is selected to shoot or fight, the CP cost of it goes up by 1. But not for any future uses of it. So basically, like, let's say I wanted to use... what's the one for Marines? Rapid Fire for my bolters. It would cost 3 instead of 2. Or 4 instead of 3 if it's a big unit. Stim injectors, commander or crisis model only, once per battle. When a saving throw has failed for the bear can use this prototype. If it does, until the end of the turn, each time you lose a wound on a 4+, it's not lost. And then wide spectrum scanners, model with an early warning override only. At the start of your reinforcement step of your opponent's movement phase, if the bear is not within engagement range of any enemy units, it can shoot as if it was a shooting phase, but can only target a single eligible enemy unit that was set up as reinforcements within 12. So basically, if you show up nearby, he shoots you. All right, Warlord Traits. Precision of the Hunter. Each time the Warlord makes an attack, reroll the hit roll and reroll the wound roll. That's a pretty solid trait for a suit commander. Through Unity, Devastation. While a core sept unit within 6 of this Warlord, each time a core model and that unit makes an attack, an unmodified wound roll of 6 improves its AP by 1. A Ghost walks among us. Each time an attack is made by this Warlord, subtract 1 from the attacks. Is made against this Warlord, it's -1 to hit. And each time this Warlord advances, do not make an advance roll, instead add 6 to the move. Through Boldness Victory, in your command phase, select 1 friendly sept core unit within 9. Until the start of your next command phase, each time a core model in that unit makes a range attack, an unmodified hit roll of 6 automatically wounds. And then Exemplar of the Kion. After both players have deployed their armies and determined who has the first turn, select up to 1 friendly sept unit or up to 3 friendly sept units if you select the Kion Tactical Philosophy and redeploy them. If the mission uses strategic reserves, any of those units can be placed into strategic reserve without having to spend CPs, regardless of how many units are already in strategic reserve. And then Exemplar of the Mont Ka. In your command phase, select a friendly sept core unit within 9 of the Warlord. Until the end of your next command phase, each time a core model in that unit makes a range attack, if you select Mont Ka Tactical Philosophy, then it's within 12 instead of within 9, you can reroll the wound roll. So you can be a reroll wound aura. And then Crew Warlord Traits, Master of the Hunt. I can get my Angor proc out and finally have some rules for him. While friendly crew units within 6 inches of the Warlord, each time a model in that unit makes a range attack that targets a unit within 12, they don't get cover. Pack Leader, while a friendly crew unit is within 6 of this Warlord, each time you make a charge roll for that unit, roll additional d6 and discard the die. And then Nomadic Hunter, while a friendly crew unit is within 6 of this Warlord, each time a model in that unit makes a range attack, if that unit did not fall back this turn, it counts as having remained stationary in its previous movement phase. And now actual relics that we don't pay points for. A Pure Tide Engram Neurochip. Basically, you have an overlay in your brain of all the memories of Commander Pure Tide. Each time you spend a command point to use a Town Power Battle Tactic or Town Power Epic Deed, on a 3+, you get the command point back. An Onager Gauntlet for Battlesuit. You get Strength 12, -4, 3 damage melee weapon. Strength 12! Strength 12, -4, 3 damage. What? I mean, you hit like crap because you're a Tau, but I mean, why not be Strength 12? So a Commander of Crisis Battlesuit has 4 attacks. He's Weapon Skill 3+. I mean, that's pretty good. 4 attacks at Strength 12, -4, 3 damage. Strength 12. Oh my god. Okay, it's stupid. Stop yelling, Ash. Multi-sensory Discouragement Array. At the end of your movement phase, select 1 enemy unit within 12 of the bear and roll 3d6. If the result is greater than their leadership, select one of the following effects to take effect until the start of your next movement phase. Lose Obsec, have the move characteristic of models in that unit, and have the charge rolls. Or each team model in that unit makes a ranged attack, it can only target the closest eligible unit. So at the end of your movement phase, just turn somebody off and make them terrible. And it's any unit. It could be a knight. Hey, knight, you have to shoot the closest thing. Hey, Obsec giant blob, you're not Obsec anymore. A solid image projection unit. Once per turn, the first time a saving throw has failed for the bearer, the damage is changed to 0. And you get a 4+ invul. That's amazing. Your first failed save per turn is damage 0. So just make the save for the harpoon launcher first. Like, anytime there's a high, until you failed that first save, just make all the high damage saves first when something shoots you. And then once that's gone, yeah, oh my god. Advanced EM Scrambler. Enemy units that are set up on the battlefield as reinforcements cannot be set up within 12 of the bearer. In your command phase, select 1 enemy unit within 6 of the bearer until the start of your next command phase. That unit cannot be affected by auras for other units in their army. A Borthrod Gland, crew models only. Once per battle in your command phase, use this relic. You gain the following aura until your next command phase. Alien Glands aura. While a friendly crew is within 6 of this model, add 1 to the attack characteristic and 1 to the strength characteristic models in that unit. So you just Hulk out. Or 2's Lantern, model with a marker light only. Each time this model performs a fire marker light action, roll 5 additional d6, and each one of which causes the enemy to gain a marker light token on a 3+. That's crazy. So you roll 6d6 on a 3+ to gain marker lights. And then the Humble Stave, ethereals only in your command phase. If the bear is on the battlefield, it can intone 1 additional invocation that hasn't already been intoned. And each time they intone it, add 1 to the roll to see if it's inspiring. The Kindled Blade for a Cadre Fireblade. Once per battle, you can use this relic. If it does so until the start of your next command phase, gain the following order. Bonding Ritual. While a friendly Sept Fire Warrior team is within 6 of this model, it automatically pass morale tests. A Neuroempathic Nullifier, ethereal model only. Once per battle in your command phase, the bear can use this relic. If it does so, 1 enemy unit within 12 invisible to the bear, and roll a d6 and a 2+ until the start of your next command phase. The target cannot perform actions. So turn off actions. And then Bagel's Hunter's Plate. Add 1 to the armor saving throws for the bear, and each time the bear would lose a wound on a d6, roll a 5+. It's just not lost. Oh my god. There's so many good items here. And that's not to just a battle suit. That's anybody can get +1 armor save for the bearer. Katshak Tar, Crew Shaper Rifle only. It becomes Rapid Fire 2, 5 -2 damage. And you ignore Look Out, Sir. And when you make an attack, an unmodified wound roll of a 6 does a mortal wound on top of normal damage. Alright, so we're into Invocations of the Ethereals. This is all your prayers you can cast with your Ethereals. Storm of Fire. If it's inspiring, select a friendly Tower Empire core unit within 6. They can make ranged attacks and still do actions. Sense of Stone. Select a friendly Tower Empire core unit within, excluding Farsight units, sorry for all of these. Within 6 of the Ethereal. Each time a core unit, model in that unit would lose a wound and a 5+ that's not lost. So 5+ wound shrug, shoot without actions failing. Each time a ranged attack is made by that unit, if it did not remain stationary, it's -1 to hit. So basically, each time a ranged attack is made against that unit, if it did not remain stationary in your previous movement phase, subtract 1 from the hit roll. Select 1 from that one's. If this invocation is inspiring, select 1 friendly Tau Empire core unit within 6 of the Ethereal. Each time a ranged attack is made against that unit, if it did not remain stationary in your previous movement. Okay, so you have to move to gain the -1 to hit and have this be inspiring. Got it. Not just -1 to hit. Power of Tides. If this invocation is inspiring, select a Tau Auxiliary unit within 6. Each time a model is made, a model in that unit makes an attack, add 1 to its wound roll. Unifying Mantra. Each Tau Empire core unit, excluding Farsights, within 6 of the Ethereal. You can reroll morale tests for that unit and add 1 to the combat attrition test it takes. And then Wisdom of the Guides. If you inspire, just gain a command point. So buy a command point. Shoot without actions failing, 5+ wound shrug. -1 hit, we also have to move. Only on core units. I mean, maybe cool on battle suits. +1 to wound for your auxiliaries. And then reroll morale checks, but there's lots of ways of doing that. I feel like these two and buy a command point. If you're taking an ethereal, you're doing it for one of those things. To give a 5+ wound shrug to your battle suits that are core, pretty freaking cool. Shadow, so your chapter approved rules. Remember, you can pick one of these now. 2 have to come from the chapter approved mission pack. So Shadow Operations, Aerospace Targeting Relays. If you take it, place an aerospace designation marker halfway along each battlefield edge. Units in your army can perform the following actions. Install Targeting Relay. 1 or more infantry unit from your army can start to perform this action at the end of your movement phase. Each unit in your army that starts to perform this action must be within 6 of a different aerospace designation marker that has not had a targeting relay installed in it. The action is complete at the start of your next command phase or at the end of the battle, whichever happens first. If this action is successfully completed, that aerospace designation marker is said to have been a targeting relay installed on it. At the end of the battle, you score a number of victory points equal to the number installed. So you're trying to get to all 4 centers of the table edges and install 4 of these for a maximum of 15 points. 2, 6, 9, 15. It jumps real far at the end there. 2, it jumps 4 to 6. it jumps 3 to 9, and then it jumps 6 to 15. So getting 4 is a big deal. But going from 2 to 3 is not as big a deal. Battlefield Supremacy, I feel like that one should be 10. It should jump 4, 4, 4, 5 at the end. That should go 2, 6, 10, and then 15. And it would be a little bit more even. Battlefield Supremacy, Decisive Action. If you select the Mont Ka Tactical Philosophy at the start of the battle, at the end of your turn in battle rounds 1, 2, and 3, score 4 VPs if you control half or more of the total number of objective markers in the battlefield. If you selected Kion, at the start of your battle round, then you score on 3, 4, and 5, score 4. If you control half or more of the objective markers in the battlefield. So you're attacking or defending, basically. No Mercy, No Respite, a clean victory. If you select the Mont Ka Tactical Philosophy at the start of the battle, then at the end of the battle round 2 and 3, you can score the following. 1 VP if 1 or more enemy units were destroyed this battle round, 3 if 3 or more were destroyed. If you select the Kion Tactical Philosophy at the start of the battle, then at the end of the battle round 3, 4, and 5, you can score the following. 1 for 1 or more enemy units destroyed, 3 if 3 or more were destroyed. So 3, 4, and 5. Basically, you're only getting 9 ever out of these clean victories. Oh, you score each of the following. So you score 4 each round. You max at 12 then, because each of them are only 3 rounds of scoring. So max is at 12. That one maxes at 15. Shadow Operations. The Supremacy one, score 4, it scores 12 as well. So 12, 12, potentially 15. I feel like Aerospace Targeting is the one that will likely get done. Crusade rules. All right, so this one's, again, this is going to be a very long video today because there's a ton in this book. But basically, you're creating a star system. You get a whole other roster sheet you got to fill out for Crusade games with the Tau. And that's generating your actual empire, your core world and your secondary worlds, and you expand as you go through. So you have to build what kind of world it is. Is it a shrine world, a civilian world, a military base, a mining world? And then you determine the planet types as you play your games. Each star system has D3 plus 2 planets. Determine the type of each planet, and then determine the temperament of the inhabitants. Are they warlike, prideful, ideologues, trade contacts, corrupt and decadent, or dictatorships? And you're basically trying to both have diplomatic success and military success in your games. It's very cool. It's very Tau. It adds a whole other layer. It's kind of non-interactive, taking over planets when you play games with your opponent. So I like it, but it's kind of a thing happening like during the in-between game. It doesn't happen so much based on the games you play, because you can still play like Crusade games kind of as pickup games. Although if you wanted to theme the entire narrative around the Tau, like taking over a star system, obviously you could. Get your battle traits and Crusade relics. And you get a cool Tau name generator, because you gotta have a name generator. So it's a cool gimmick. All right, data sheets, here we go. So we're getting into the core of it now. Again, I'm going to do the differences, not focus on the strengths. So your sept keyword is basically the one your tag that you've picked. They've all got to be the same in 2022. Your weapon profiles, and then your philosophies of war. Now, we referred to this before, but basically you've got your Mont Ka or Kion, the 2 different tactical philosophies. Your Tau Empire units that aren't your auxiliaries gain the benefits of it. So if you're doing Mont Ka in battle rounds 1 to 3, each time you make a normal move or advance in the movement phase until the end of your shooting phase, you count as having been stationary. Each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack that targets the closest eligible unit within range shown below, improve the AP by 1 and reroll wound rolls of 1. So as they close to you in Mont Ka, you can basically move. You're being aggressive, so you're going to move and still count as stationary. And if they're the closest eligible unit within 18, you get to be AP minus 1 and reroll wound rolls of 1. So you're trying to obliterate and advance. And then Kion is the same, but battle rounds 3 to 5. If the unit is eligible to shoot in a turn in which it fell back, but if it does, you're minus 1 to hit. And then each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack that targets the closest enemy unit within 12, if that model is not within engagement range of any enemy units and did not fall back, on an unmodified hit roll of the shot value showed below, it does an additional hit. So in battle round 3, if you're the closest enemy unit within 12, I do double hits on 6s, 4 on 5s, and 5 on 4+. You're getting double hits on 4+ if you're the closest target. So basically, it's all about shooting the closest thing and either being aggressive or defensive. And then abilities. So battlesuits. Battlesuit models in this unit can make attacks with ranged weapons, even when they're units within engagement range of the enemy, but they can only target the unit they're engaged with. In such circumstances, those models can target an enemy unit even if other friendly units are within engagement range of the same enemy unit. So note that if a battlesuit model has more than one ranged weapon, you can still choose to target units that are not within engagement range of this unit, but it'll always only be able to make attacks with that weapon if all enemy units within engagement range of the unit have been destroyed when you come to resolve those attacks. In addition, when a battlesuit model shoots a heavy weapon, subtract 1 from hit rolls when resolving the weapon's attacks against engagement range models. So basically, your battleshoots can shoot melee while they're in the melee. So locking them in melee is, you know, still going to get you shot, basically, but you're minus 1 hit with heavy weapons. Marker lights. Fire marker lights action. One or more marker lights units in your army can start to perform this action at the start of the movement phase. Aircraft marker light units can perform this action. The action is completed at the start of your next shooting phase. If this action is successfully completed for each model in that unit that is equipped with one or more marker lights, for each marker light that model is equipped with, select one enemy within 36 inches, and then on a 3+, they gain a marker light token. While a vehicle or drone is units performing the fire marker lights action, that unit can move without that action failing. If it does so, until the end of the turn, models in a unit without the vehicle or drone keyword that is equipped with the marker lights are treated as not being equipped with any marker lights for the purpose of the fire marker lights action. So each time a Talon Bar unit, excluding Tau auxiliary units, is selected to shoot, each time a model in that unit makes a ranged attack against a unit with one or more marker light tokens, you're +1 to hit. And then after that unit's finished making the attacks for each enemy unit targeted by those attacks, remove 1 marker light token from the enemy unit. At the end of the shooting phase, remove all the remaining ones. So basically, your marker lights put down the tokens, they pile up, and every time the unit takes the +1 to hit, they pull one of those marker lights off as you expend them, basically, just like before. Manta Strike. During deployment, you can set up this unit in Manta Strike. If you do so in the reinforcement step, place it anywhere in the battlefield not within 9 of the enemy. Ambushing Predators. At the start of the first battle round, models in this unit can make a normal move up to 7. They cannot make this move within 9 of the enemy. And Inspired to Greatness. In your command phase, select one friendly Tau Empire Core or Tau Auxiliary unit within 6 of this unit's ethereal model, excluding Farsights. Until the start of your next command phase, while that unit's performing an action, it can make ranged attacks. So you're like, you have that prayer from the ethereals, but you can just do it by the ethereal standing nearby, basically. So a lot of the stuff in the Tau army is action driven. All right, drones. Advanced Guardian Drone, Command Link Drone, Grav Inhibitor Drone, Guardian Drone, Marker Drone, Missile Drone, and Pulse Accelerator Drone, Sniper Drone, and Stealth Drone have the following profile. 10-inch move, 5+5+, Strength 3, Toughness 4, 1 wound, 1 attack, Leadership 6, 4+ save. Shields and shielded missile drones are exactly the same with 2 wounds. Interceptor drones are 20-inch move as opposed to 10-inch. And then recon drones, 10-inch move, and they have the exact same stat line. I don't know why they get a separate profile. Strength 3, oh no, 3 wounds each. That's why. I knew I was missing something. All drones have the following abilities. They can all Manta Strike. Valued Sacrifice. Each time a drone model unit's destroyed, it's ignored for the purpose of morale tests if the unit also contains models with the drone keyword. So basically the drones don't care when they die. Artificial Helpers. Drones are ignored for the purpose of Lookout Sir, determining this unit's starting strength and whether the unit's below half strength. So you just never make morale tests with them, basically. Determining the unit's toughness characteristic if it also contains models without the drone keyword. Limited parameters. If this unit contains only drone models, this unit cannot perform actions, excluding the fire marker light action, and loses the objective secured ability if it has it, and it cannot gain it through other means. And then docked drones. If this model is docked with another, any weapons the model is equipped with are considered to be equipped with the model it's docked with. Attacks cannot be allocated to this model, and if the drone is docked with it's destroyed, the drone is destroyed as well. So basically, you lose your drones when your vehicle dies. You all gain the Tau Empire Sept keyword, Drone and Fly. You cannot gain the keywords for the units you're contained with, and for purposes of interacting with terrain features, you don't have the infantry keyword. So your Advanced Guardian Drone gains Shield Generator, 4+ invul, cannot be selected as a target for ranged attacks if it's closest, unless it's the closest eligible target to the firing model. Command Link Drone, add 3 to the range of your unit's aura abilities and command phase abilities. Grav Inhibitor, -2 to charge rolls against this unit. Guardian Drone, 4+ invul. Each time a range attack is made against this unit, unmodified wound roll of 1 to 3 always fails, irrespective of the abilities. And then gun drone, just a threat identification protocol. Each time a model makes a range attack, can target only the nearest eligible unit, but it has an assault 2 pulse carbine. Interceptor drone has 2 ion rifles, heavy 3 7-2 or overcharged for heavy 3 8-2 damage, but you take mortal wounds. Marker drones have the marker light keyword, they can take the action. Missile drones, just with missile pods. Pulse accelerators, each time a model in this unit makes an attack with a pulse weapon, its AP goes up by 1. And then a recon drone, recon suite, each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack against a target, a unit with an 18, they don't get cover. It has a burst cannon, it's assault 6, 5-0, damage 1. Shield drone has a 4+ invul. Shielded missile drone. Drone shield generator has a 4+ invul and has a missile pod. Sniper drone has a long shot pulse rifle and a stealth drone. This unit cannot be selected as a target for range attacks unless it's the closest eligible target to the firing model or the fire models with an 18. So basically, the advanced guardian drone is the one that combines the shield drone and the stealth drone, which is what you want. All right, Shadow Sun. This is where we're gonna get some like overview, but not deep divey, because good God, there's a lot of units in this army still. Shadow Sun. Commander Shadow Sun, so you start with C, right? Yeah. Do you in here? Nope. You're just going to be Shadow Sun because they changed the name. Or you're just not in here? Stingwings. Where are you at? Is it because you weren't in the Codex? Oh my God, it's because you weren't in the Codex. If I just look up Shadow Sun, it's because she was in a campaign book, I bet. Shadow Sun, there she is. She's not in the Codex. And this is new model Shadow Sun, 8 power, move 1 to 10. That's pretty cool. Strength time is 5, 7 wounds. Oh, this is the new stat line, that's why. Because this data sheet in here is for the old stat line. 7 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 10, 3+ save. Dispersed fusion ion is flat damage 2 now. It goes to damage 3. If it's within half. Flechette launcher is assault 5 instead of pistol. And it's not... Yeah, it's assault 5. So no shooting in melee now. But she's a battlesuit, so she can shoot in melee anyway. Doesn't care. High energy fusion blaster. Assault 1, 8-4 d6. Becomes d6 + 2. Light missile pod. Assault 2 now. Gain into shot. And it's flat 2 damage. And then pulse pistol is pistol 1, 5-0, 1 damage. Battlesuits and Manta Strike. She has For the Greater Good, or Defenders of the Greater Good. Select a friendly town bar core or town bar character within 6 until the start of your next command phase. Each time a core character model in that unit makes an attack, we roll a hit roll. So she's a chapter master, basically. Camouflage Field. While this unit's Commander Shadow Sun model has any wounds remaining, each time a ranged attack is made against this unit, subtract 1 from the attack's hit roll. XV-22 Stalker Battlesuit, 5+ invul. Master of War, core within 6 of her can reroll hit rolls of 1. Infiltrator, set her up anywhere you want in the battlefield, more than 9 from the enemy. And then Hero of the Empire, if the army's battle forged, this unit's Commander Shadow Sun must be your Warlord. If more than one model in your army has this rule, then one of these models must be your army's Warlord. She's the big hero right now. Then it's Farsight. How did you do? Farsight. Nope. That's not how you spell Farsight. Commander Farsight. 10-inch move, so gain 2 inches of movement. 5-5, gained a wound, gained an attack, gained a leadership. High intensity plasma rifle is assault 2 now. And it's 8-4, 3 damage. And the Dawn Blade has sweep or strike. Used to be just +3, -4, d3 damage. Now it's ×2, -3, 3 damage. So strength 10, -3, 3 damage. Or sweep, make 2 hit rolls instead of 1. So it goes to 10 attacks, +1, -2, 1 damage. Pretty good for fighting orcs. And then Tactical Acumen. Select a Sept Crisis Core unit within 9. They can shoot and declare a charge in which the turn in which they fell back, or each time a core model in that unit makes a range attack, you ignore any and all hit roll modifiers. And then Way of the Short Blade, at the start of the fight phase, select a friendly Farsight Enclave core unit within 6. Until the end of the phase, each time a core unit model in that unit makes an attack, add 1 to its hit roll. So basically you get to pick 2 things. So you can pick a Crisis core unit within 9, and a Farsight Enclave's core unit within 6. And you can get +1 to hit, and also shoot and charge when you fall back, and ignore hit modifiers. Master of War, so reroll 1s. Enclave Commander, if your army's Battleforged, they must be your Warlord. And Shield Generator, 4+ invul save. Crisis Commander, holy moly. Airbursting Fragmentation Launcher. Assault D6, 4-1/1 damage, blast, shoot things out of line of sight. And basically, you have a burst cannon. Your burst cannon can be replaced up to 4 of the following in any combination. Airbursting Fragmentation Projector, Burst Cannon, Counterfire Defense System, Cyclonic Blaster, Early Warning Override, Fusion Blaster, Missile Pod, Multi-Tracker Plasma Rifle, Shield Generator, Target Lock, Tau Flamer, Velocity Tracker. You can also be equipped with a Iridium Battlesuit and take up to 2 of the following in any combination: a gun drone, a marker drone, and a shield drone. So you get 2 drones and 4 hard points to buy all this stuff with. You can buy the Counterfire Defense System. You can buy the Early Warning Override. The Iridium Battlesuit gives you 2+ save, 4+ invul. So like you get 2 guns basically plus 2 systems, or 1 gun 3 systems, or 4 guns no systems. Your fusion blasters are 8-4 d6, Cyclonic Blaster, Assault 3, and it's 7-2-1 or 8-2-2 damage, and mortal wounds if you roll any 1s to hit. And then fusion missile pods, the same, Assault 2 now, -2 damage, Plasma Rifle, Assault 1, 8-4 3 damage, and Tau Flamer, Assault D6 +2, Strength 4-1 auto hit. Target Lock is you don't get like cover. Velocity Tracker is add 1 to the hit roll against things that can fly, maximum 1 per model. Commanders are the same, slightly reduced profile, but an 8-inch move. This is the Enforcer one. 8-inch move, 3+2+, 5/5, wound 7, 4 attacks, leadership 10, 2+ save. Once per battle, Commander Enforcer Battlesuit can be replaced. Your burst cannon can be replaced with 4 of the following things in any combination: Airburst Frag Launcher, Burst Cannon, Cyclonic Blaster, Fusion Blaster, Missile Pod, Plasma Rifle, Positional Relay, Shield Generator, Tau Flamer, Velocity Tracker. So the big difference is the positional relay. Once per battle round, when you set up a friendly Sept Strategic Reserve unit, the bear can use a Spore Gear item. If it does, the unit counts the battle round determined as 1 higher, so you can show up in the first turn, as long as you show up within 6 of them. The commander, and it's funny because that actually gets around the wording of the new chapter approved, where it says that you can never show up in the first battle round because you count the battle round as being 1 higher. You're not showing up in the first battle round. You're showing up on the second battle round. And then you can have up to 2 of the following: gun drone, marker drone, shield drone. Hardened armor, you're -1 damage. Master War, reroll 1s, resolute firebase. In your command phase, select a Sept Crisis core unit within 9, and they gain OBSEC until the start of your next command phase. I forgot to mention his tactical acumen. Select a friendly Crisis core unit within 9, and they can shoot and charge and determine where they fall back, or ignore hit modifiers. And also reroll hit rolls on 1. Cold Star Commander, 14-inch move, 3+2+, 5/5, 7 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 10, 3+ save. Can take a positional relay, shield generator, target lock, or velocity tracker. And they're high output burst cannons, so the difference being Assault 10, 5-1/1 damage. Can be replaced with 1 of the following, and up to 3 of the following in any combination. So your frag launcher, burst cannon, fusion blaster, missile pod, plasma rifle, positional relay, shield generator. So basically still 4 selections. And then 2 drones. High altitude maneuvers. Once per battle at the start of your movement phase, you can remove this unit from the battlefield and put it in reinforcements, then bring it back anywhere on the battlefield outside of 9, or place it in strategic reserves. And then Master War, Cold Star battlesuits, core models make an attack, reroll hit rolls of 1. And aggressive tactics in your command phase, you can select a friendly Sept Crisis Core unit within 9. Until the end of the turn, each time a unit advances, don't make an advance roll, just add 8 to their move characteristic. Holy crap. So your Crisis Core units within 9 when they run, move +8. So Speedy over here will get his wings. Commander is like the Enforcer, so you get the Heavy, you get the Speedy, you get the old Basic. And then a Fireblade if you don't like battle suits, because, you know, you're playing Tout and not paint battle suits. These weapons go 4+, bullets go 3+, strength toughness 3, 4 wounds, 3 attacks. He's squishy, 4 wounds. Leadership 8, 4+ save. You can buy him a marker light, and then up to 2 drones. Volley fire. Well, a friendly Sept Core units within 6. Each time you make an attack with a pulse weapon, unmodified 6 to hit scores an additional hit, and then target sighted. In your command phase, select a fire warrior team within 9 until you start your next command phase. Each time they make a range attack, reroll hit rolls of 1. So you can make one guy reroll 1 as opposed to everybody for the commanders. Crew Shaper, 7-inch move, 2+, 4+, strength 4, toughness 3, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, 6+ save. I think it's adorable they're still in here. Crude pistols, 5-1, pistol 1. Shaper rifle, just a bolter basically, but -1. Rapid fire 2 though. Pulse rifles you can still buy. Ritual blade, grenade belt. Grenade 2d6, blast once per battle. And then wisest of their kind, while a friendly creature is within 6, they can use his leadership. Commands, so the Shaper commands, it's an aura. Reroll hit rolls of 1 for friendly crew within 6. And Stealthy Hunter, each time a range attack is allocated to this model. If it's in cover, it's +1 armor save. So it's 6+ save becomes a 5+ save, becomes a 4+ save because it's in cover. Ethereals, 3+ movement 6, 3+, 4+, strength toughness 3, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 5+ save. The honor staves +2 strength, strength 5, -1, 2 damage, and you're -1 to hit it in melee. Oh, sorry. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, subtract 1 from the attack's hit roll. It's bad at fighting with its honor stave. Apparently it's good at fighting with its hands. And then you can buy it a hover drone to make it move 10 and fly. And 2 gun drones. It gets inspired to greatness. Failure is not an option. Well, a friendly talent bar core unit, not Farsights, within 6, they can use its leadership. And then you can know 2 invocations, and you can intone 1, not already intoned this turn on a 3+. 5+ Moonshark is going to be great. On Va, in his Popemobile, he's got 6 wounds. He's strength 2 because he's old. And he's got 2 ethereals that back him up. His Supreme Honor Blade doesn't get the -1 to hit, but it's the same otherwise. Supreme Loyalty, while a friendly Tau Empire core unit is within 9, this model can use his leadership. Paradox of Duality has a 5+ invul, -1 to wound against him. And then leadership cast. This unit can be included in any Tau Empire detachment, excluding Farsights, without preventing it from being that detachment, that set basically. And a Serene Unifier. This unit's on vow model knows 3 invocations and can chant 2, and they cap it on a 2+ instead of a 3+. On Shi, Kwai Chang Ethereal with his wandering kill stick. He's 2+, 4+, 3/3. 5 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 10, 7+ save because he's wearing no pants. He's armed with Fidelity, +2, -2 damage, and when you make an attack with an unmodified hit roll of 6, scores an additional hit, so you get up to 10 attacks if you roll a Yahtzee. 4+ invul, leadership cast, failure is not an option. Inspirational Defiance, while a friendly Vorlok core unit's within 6 of this model, each time an enemy unit declares a charge, if that friendly unit's not within engagement range of any enemy units, it can hold steady or set to defend. So 5+ Overwatch. And then Serene Unifier, this model knows 3 invocations from the invocations of the Ethereals in your command phase. If this model is on the battlefield, it can intone up to 2 invocations on a 2+. Dark Strider, this is the new character. 3+, 2+, strength toughness 3, 5 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 9. He's got Shade. He throws Shade, Assault 2, 5 -2, 2 damage. You can buy a marker light, or he has a marker light, sorry. He's got Structural Analyzer. In your command phase, you can select 1 friendly Tau Sept core unit within 6 of this model, and 1 enemy unit visible. Till the end of the turn, each time a model on a Tau Sept core unit makes a ranged attack against an enemy unit, add 1 to its wound roll, so it buys +1 to wound. This unit can fire the marker light action in your movement phase instead of at the start. So he can shoot marker lights at the end of the movement phase, which means he can shoot and then decide to marker light. A drone familiar cluster. Each time this model is selected to shoot, you can reroll 1 hit roll and 1 wound roll. And then fighting retreats an aura, while a Tau Sept core unit, excluding battlesuits within 6, they can shoot if they fall back. And Vanguard, at the start of the first battle round, you make a normal move up to 7 inches. And he's movement 7. You can't move within 9. Long Strike in his sweet tank with its ion cannon or railgun. And yeah, he's a 3+ shooting. He's basically like the Trask Punisher tank, 3+ to hit with his super ion cannon. Heavy 3d3 blast, 8 -2, 3 damage overcharge, but does mortal wounds to itself. And then of course we've all seen the railgun. Heavy 1, strength 14, -6, d3 plus 6 damage. No invols, and if you hit with it, 3 mortal wounds. Long Strike's gonna be pretty popular just for mounting that gun. Seeker missiles, you can buy 9 -3, 2d3. Smart missile systems, heavy 4, 5 -1, 1 damage, shoot things out of line of sight and no cover. And accelerated burst cannons, it's assault 8, 6 -1, 1 damage. It's a drone dock, gunship ace. If he's targeting a monster or vehicle, +1 to wound. Sweet, why not? So strength 14 already. And it's wounding on 2s then against basically the game, because nothing's toughness 14. Targeting array. Each time this unit's hammerhead model is selected to shoot, reroll a hit roll. So yeah, hit on 3s rerolling. And then hover, if it's got marker lights, obviously. Hover tank, always measured everything from the hammerhead model, from its hull. An XV-02 pilot battlesuit. In your command phase, you can select 1 other friendly Tau Sept core Tau Sept hammerhead unit within 6 of this hammerhead. Until the start of your next command phase, each time a model that model makes an attack, the target's treated as having a marker light token. Ha! So all your other railguns now also get +1 to hit. I can see a big parking lot sitting around Long Strike. And then explodes on a 6+. It takes d6 mortal wounds within 6 inches. I mean, it's only toughness 7. That is the one downfall of these tanks. Toughness 7, 14 wounds, 3+ save. They're pretty glassy for what they are, but you got to get them to half wounds before I start to degrade. So if you're not going first, these things are definitely going to put the hurt on you with their railguns. Strike teams, pretty much the same as always. Move 6, weapon skill 5+, plus skill 4+, 3/3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 7, 4+ save. You got to buy them in 10s, no buy them in 5s anymore. So you get 1 support turret, and its pulse rifles are rapid fire 1, 36-inch range, 5 -1, 1 damage. Carbines are assault 2, 24-inch, 5, 0, 1 damage. Missile pods are the same as the ones on the suits. Get a marker light. You can deploy your turret as an action in your command phase, and the support turret just sits there. They're ignored for the purpose of determining its starting strength and whether it's below half. It's ignored for morale tests. It doesn't take up any space in a transport. In your movement phase, each time you get selected to move, if it contains a support turret, that you remove it from the battlefield, but it doesn't count as destroyed, then you can just deploy it again. It basically packs up if you move. And it happens in your command phase. You can just take this action. And it ends at the action's completed at the end of your next movement phase. So you just pop it out. Breacher teams, same core stat line. Pulse blasters, they're close range, 8, assault 2, 6 -2, 1 damage, or long range, 14, assault 2, 5 -1, 1 damage. And they can also buy a smart missile system, heavy 4, 5 -1, 1 damage. They set up the turrets, same as the other one. And that's it. Carnivore Squad, 6+ save. Move 7, 3+, 4+, strength 4, toughness 3, 2 attacks. Get the Recruit Rifle, it's 4, AP 0, 1 damage, 24-inch range, rapid fire, just a bolter. And their melee weapons are -1 strength. Quill grenades, they throw their own quills. Grenade D6, 4, AP 0, damage 1. Stealthy Hunters, if you shoot them while they're in cover, they get to +1 to their saving throws. And then Recruit Pack, if your army's battle forged for each carnivore unit in your detachment, up to 1 Recruit Riders unit, Recruit Ox Riders, and 1 Recruit Hounds unit, and 1 Recruit Shaper can be included. So basically, if you take one of these, you can take one of the rest. Crudox, 7-inch move, weapon skill 3+, blitz skill 4+, strength 6, toughness 5, 4 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 6, 6+ save. Crude Gun's just a autocannon basically. And the Crude Fists are -2 damage. Crisis Suits, 10-inch move now, strength toughness 5, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, 3+ save. Weapons the same as the other characters. Any number of Crisis models can have their burst cannon replaced with 3 of the following. So you get 3 systems on Crisis Suits. And then they can all buy 1 secondary system. Counterfire defense, early warning override, multi-tracker, shield generator, target lock. Multi-tracker is each time a range attack is made by the bearer's unit containing 6 or more models, and a modified roll of 6 scores an additional hit, maximum 1 per model. So if you're targeting units that have 6 or more models, you get exploding 6s. And then early warning override, each time the bearer fires Overwatch, it scores an additional unmodified hit on, it scores hits on 5+. Each time you fire Overwatch and use that stratagem, if the bearer's on the battlefield and its unit selected to fire Overwatch, reduce the CP cost by 1. So basically you can shoot Overwatch for free on 5s if you have an early warning override. And then how do you get an iridium armor? Can they all have iridium armor? For every 3 crisis models, 1 crisis can be equipped with iridium armor. For every crisis model in this unit, it can be equipped with 2 of the following 2 drones. And of course you can split them off. And they're battle suits and mana strikes, they can deep strike. Crisis bodyguards as elites, 4 wounds, 3 attacks. I think they have 1 extra wound basically than the regular ones. Nope, they're the same. Exact same core stats. They can have their burst cannon replaced with 3 of the weapon systems, or a velocity tractor, or shield generator, or target lock. 1 out of every 3 can be equipped with a Iridium battle suit, and for every crisis model in this unit, you can have 2 drones. Sworn protectors, well, friendly sept characters within 3. Enemy models cannot target them with ranged attacks. And then bodyguard contingent. If your army's battleforged, for each sept commander in your detachment, you can include 1 sept bodyguard detachment without taking up a battlefield slot. So no, they don't count as an elite choice as long as you have 1. Stealth suits. Weapon skill 5, blitz skill 4+, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 8, 3+ save. Improved burst cannons, assault 6, 5, -0, 1 damage. Fusion blasters, 8, -4, D6, 18-inch range. Drone controllers. If you can select in your command phase, select a drone unit within 6 of the bearer, and at the start of your until your next command phase, they get a 4+ ballistic skill, and they lose the threat identification protocol abilities. They can shoot further targets. You can perform the homing beacon action in your command phase. Any number of units from your army can perform this action. It's completed at the start of the reinforcement step of your next movement phase. When it's completed, the unit in the action loses its homing beacon, and 1 friendly crisis core unit that was set up in a manta hold can set up in the battlefield within 3 and more than 9 from the enemy, even if it's the first battle round. For every 3 battle suits, 1 can have a fusion blaster. For every 3 battle suits, you can have a drone controller and a target lock. You can be equipped with 1 homing beacon. And then you can buy up to 2 drones per model. Camouflage fields, you must want to hit them. And if they're in cover, they get +1 to their saves. So +2 basically. And they can infiltrate. The Ghost Keel. That's cool. He comes in the new start collecting. So what did he gain? Let's look him up. We'll actually do a bit closer look onto much like the big characters, we'll look at the Ghost Keel and see if there's anything big and different. He gained 1 toughness, he gained 2 wounds, and he gained a leadership. His Cyclic Ionic Raker is 36-inch range, heavy 6, 7 -2, 2 damage, or overcharged to 8 -2, 3 damage, and then mortal wounds if you roll 1s. Top Flamer is the same. Fusion Blaster, Fusion Collider, heavy 3, 9 -4, D6 damage. Each time it attacks me with this weapon, if it's within half range, so 12, its damage is D6 +2. And its bare fists are +1 strength, -1 save, 2 damage. So it's strength 7, -1, 2 damage in melee with 3 attacks. I mean, he's hitting on 5s. He's got drone controller. He has early warning override, so he can always fire Overwatch for 0 CPs. And a flare launcher. Each time a bearer would lose a wound as a result of an attack with a strength 7 or more, roll a d6. On a 5+, the wound is not lost. So he has a 5+ wound shrug against anything strength 7 or more. The fusion collider can be replaced with an ionic raker. It can have one of those two things. So it can either fire Overwatch for free or have the flare launcher. I feel like the flare launcher is the way to go, because you can still set to defend and also spend the CPs for the other one. Electro Warfare Suite. While it's got any wounds remaining, each time a ranged attack targets this unit, it's -1 to hit. Infiltrator, anywhere in the battlefield not within 9 of the enemy deployment zone, and then explodes. D3 mortal wounds within 6. Fire Sight Marksman. These guys are the little marker-like guys with their... That's really it. It's one model. He's got a pulse pistol, marker light, and 3 sniper drones. He has drone uplinks. You can bliss skill 3+. They ignore lookout, sir, and they ignore the shoot the closest target thing. Each time attack is made by a sniper drone model in that unit, I'm off a roll of 6 does a mortal wound, addition to normal damage. And then Marksman Stealth Field. This unit can't be selected as a target for ranged attacks unless it's within 12 and closest. In your movement phase, if it does not remain stationary, it loses this ability. And then tactical drones, just combination of those drones. So you can have any combination of gun drone, marker drone, shield drones. And it's a unit of 4, and it can up to 8 more, so up to 12. Pathfinders, 7-inch move, 5+, 4+, 3/3, 1 wound, 1 attack, leadership 7, 5+ save. They get marker lights, pulse carbines, and pulse pistols. 3 Pathfinders can have their marker light and pulse carbine replaced with one of the following: ion rifle or rail rifle. 1 model with a pulse carbine can be equipped with a semi-automatic grenade launcher. The model's pulse carbine cannot be replaced. You have a NeuroWeb system jammer, a drone controller. This is all the stuff from the new Pathfinder box set from Kill Team. Fusion grenade, assault 1, 6 -1, 3 damage, or EMP grenade, assault 1, 3, 0, 1 damage, both 20-inch range. Each time a successful hit roll is made for an attack with this weapon, the target is a vehicle, excluding Titanic, whose characteristic changes when it loses its wounds. It halves its remaining wounds for the next turn. So you basically scramble them. Rail rifles are heavy 1, 8 -4, 3 damage. Each time a successful wound roll is made for an attack with this weapon, the target suffers a mortal wound in addition to normal damage. So just like the rail guns, it gets better. And ion rifles are heavy 3, 7 -2, 1 damage, or overcharged to heavy 3, 8 -2, 2 damage, but you can take a mortal wound. And then piranhas, 16-inch move, 6. So again, they don't degrade. These are like land speeders. 6+ weapon skill, bliss skill 4+, strength 4, toughness 6, 7 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 7, 4+ armor. They come with a burst cannon, assault 6, 6, no AP, 1 damage. Any number of models can have a fusion blaster. Any number of piranhas can be equipped with up to 2 seeker missiles. They've got a dock. Outflanking harassers. During deployment, you can set this up unit behind enemy lines instead of on the battlefield. If you do so in the reinforcement step of your movement phase, set them up wholly within 6 of any battlefield edge and more than 9 from the enemy. And they explode for 1 mortal wound within 3. Vespids, basically just fire warriors with the 14-inch movement jump packs, but leadership 5. The strain leader is leadership 8 with 2 attacks. They're neutron blasters, assault 2, 5 -3, 2 damage, 18-inch range, and then they fight melee with claws. You can have them deep strike. Crew downs, 12-inch move, 3+, strength toughness 3. The ripping fangs are just AP -1. They get stealthy hunters for +1 saving throws and cover, and you can roll advance and charge rolls for that unit. Broadsides, 2+ save, 5+, 4+, strength toughness 5, 8 wounds each. And then 3 attacks, leadership 8. Heavy rail rifle is heavy 2, 9 -4, D3 +3. Everyone was afraid that these were going to be like exactly the same as the ones on the whatchamacallit, on the hammerheads, but they're not. 1 mortal wound if they hit. High yield missile pod, it's just heavy 4. Seeker missiles heavy 1, 9 -3, 2d3, once per game. Twin plasma rifles, assault 2, 8 -4, 3 damage. Twin SMS, 4 shots. Crushing Bulk and melee, +1 strength, -1, 1 damage. It's melee weapons called Crushing Bulk. So advanced targeting system. Each time the bear makes a range attack, unmodified hit roll of 6 auto wounds. That's pretty cool. I can buy early warning system, multi-tracker, stabilized optics. The bear does not suffer the penalty to hit rolls incurred for firing heavy weapons in a turn in which they moved, and doesn't suffer it for firing at units in engagement range. And then +1 hit against models that can fly. Any number of battle suits can have their heavy rail rifle replaced with 2 missile pods. Any number of battle suits can be equipped with 2 of the following, and duplicates in the same model are allowed, basically. So you just go all optics, and then multi-tracker or early override. I think early override, so you can fire free Overwatch. It's probably not going to come in a, honestly, stabilizer. Probably just stabilized optics and then another gun. So you buy it stabilized optics and then twin plasmas maybe, because they're 8 -4 3 damage, and then you just have this like absolute 4 shots per model killing machine that can move and fire. The Riptide, what'd you get? Something cool? What's new with you, Riptide? It gained ballistic skill of, wait, no, it didn't gain anything. It gained 2 attacks and a leadership. So 2 attacks and a leadership. You can have Fusion Blaster, Heavy Burst Cannon, Ion Accelerator, Heavy 6, 7 -3 3 damage, or Heavy 6, 8 -3 4 damage, but you take mortal wounds. Plasma Rifle, SMS, its fists are Strength 7, -2 2 damage. Can have the counterfire defense system, which I think is always worth taking on these big guys. Early warning override would be cool, but probably probably just the counterfire defense system. And you change its heavy burst cannon for an ion accelerator? Yes, I think so. Heavy burst cannon, heavy 12, 6 -2 2 damage is pretty great. But I sure like heavy 6, 7 -3 3 damage. I don't know, heavy burst cannon is pretty awesome too. And then it's got a 4+ invul, can explode for D3 mortal wounds within 6. Nova Reactor. In your command phase, this unit's Riptide model can use Nova Reactor. If it does, roll 2d6 if the result's greater than its remaining wounds. Its Nova Reactor is burned out. Otherwise, it either gains a 5+ wound shrug until your next command phase, boost. This unit can make a normal move in your next charge phase. This unit can make a normal move of 2d6. If it does until the end of the phase, you cannot declare a charge. So basically, it's a move and fire. Or the Nova Charge. If it's equipped with the Heavy Burst Cannon, its type just changed to Heavy 16, and if it's Ion Accelerator, it's changed to Heavy 8. So you can go gun, move, wound shrug. Hammerhead, we've already seen the profiles for this. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it in Warhammer Community. Again, toughness 7, 14 wounds, 3+ save is the kind of the downfall. Skyray, same core as the other one. Its Seeker missiles are heavy D3+1, 9 -3 2d3 damage. It can take an SMS and an accelerated burst cannon. Has the marker light keyword. Aerial scanners. When targeting aircraft, +2 to hit and reroll damage. Oh my god. And then targeting array. You can reroll 1 hit roll when you're resolving its attacks. Hover tank. Measure from the hull and it explodes. Devilfish. Transport 12 Sept infantry or drone models and 1 Sept drone model. Can't transport battlesuits. Seeker missile, SMS, accelerated burst cannons. It's 13 wounds instead of 14. Razor Shark, 20 to 50. 6+ 4+, strength 6, toughness 7, 12 wounds, 3 attacks, leadership 8, 4+ save. It's airborne, hard to hit, so -1 to hit and flies. Supersonic, explodes on a d6 for d3 mortal wounds. And it can replace its accelerated burst cannon for a missile pod. Its big thing is the quad ion turret. It's assault 8, 7 -2 1 damage, or overcharge for assault 8, 8 -2 2 damage, but does mortal wounds to itself, and then can take seeker missiles. I don't know. I don't see the point of taking it over the actual just hammerheads at this point. Sun Shark. It's the bomber. Same core stats. It's got a missile pod, seeker missiles, but it can do a pulse bomb once per turn. After this unit, Sunshark Bomber has made a move. Select the enemy unit it moved across and roll 6d6 for each vehicle or monster unit and 1d6 for each other model in that unit. On a 4+, that unit suffers a mortal wound. So basically, to a maximum of 10 d6s. So fly over a big unit, roll 10 d6, potentially do 5 mortal wounds. Airborne, and then supersonic, hard to hit, explodes. The Tidewall Shield Line. Strength 6, toughness 6, 10 wounds. It's a firing position, mobile defense. As part of your movement phase, you can, one unit from your army that's embarked within a Tidewall transport can perform this action. If it's completed successfully, the Tidewall transport can make a normal move as if it had a move characteristic of 8 and can fly. So basically, it's a shield line that can move if you make the action. At the start of your movement phase, you can move this terrain piece. You can embark in it and move. You get a 5+ invul save. It's a terrain feature. You set up using the terrain rules. It's wrecked. When this building is destroyed, roll a d6 for any embarked models before removing it from play. On a d6, it explodes. On any other result, the building is wrecked, though the model counts as destroyed for all rules purposes. Don't remove it from the battlefield. Instead, it becomes difficult ground, exposed, unstable position. Can transport 10 infantry. With each model with a wound characteristic of 3 takes up 2 spaces. It can't transport models with a wound characteristic of 4 or more. So no crisis suits. No more than 2 units can embark into it. Crazy. The Tidewall Drone Port. It's 4+ save, 6/6, 10 wounds, leadership 10. Can be equipped with any of the following: gun drone, marker drone, shield drone. Sets up like terrain. It's a firing position. It can drone control system. Your command phase, friendly drone sept unit embarked with it can drones have ballistic skill 4+, lose the threat identification rule. It's a terrain feature. You can move it with the action, and it becomes wrecked the same way. Can transport 10 infantry. I don't know, they're kind of neat. And then the Tidewall Gun Rig. So it's got a Supremacy Railgun, 16 wounds, toughness 6, heavy 2, strength 12, -4, d3 +3. And if you successfully wound with it, it does d3 mortal wounds in addition to its normal damage. So it's like a slightly smaller railgun on the, whatchamacallit, it's Hammerhead. Also transports 10, also can be moved around. It's an automated weapon though. It's a bliss skill of, if there's no one in it, it's bliss skill 5+, and it has to shoot the closest eligible unit or vehicle. Still have firing position set up, can be wrecked, can be moved with mobile defenses. So it's a neat, I don't know, they're like vehicles that aren't vehicles. This is the only army I can think of in 40k right now where I'd actually be tempted to buy terrain. Because they're just kind of cool and can move around and can protect your infantry. So like if you have to take infantry, taking like a defense network isn't like terrible. Although I would probably just take Devilfish. They're relatively cheap though. Like the shield line is 80 points. Yeah, the shield line's 80 points for each one. You can have the 0 to 1 additional one. The Tidewall Gun Rig is 125 for that like murderous railgun and 16 wounds, toughness 6 with a 4+ save. And then it's only 80 points for the drone port as well. So like, I don't know. They're kind of neat. They keep your fire warriors alive. How many points is it for a Devilfish? A Devilfish is 95. No, maybe a Devilfish instead. They're toughness 7. All right, and that's the big boy, the Storm Surge. We've again kind of already seen him. 8-inch move, 5+, 4+, strength toughness 8, 22 wounds, slightly lighter than a knight, 3 attacks, leadership 8, 2+ save though. 2+ save. You got to take a relic to get that on a knight. His cluster rocket system is heavy 4d6, 5-1 blast, so 24 shots against 10 or more models. Destroyer missile, and he comes with 4 destroyer missiles, a cluster rocket system, a twin tau flamer, a pulse driver cannon, 2 smart missile systems, a drone controller, target lock, velocity tracker, and thunderous footfalls. He's got all that stuff already. His destroyer missile is shoot with them once per game, 12 -5, 2d3 damage. His pulse blast cannon, focused shot, heavy 2, 16 -4, 12 damage. Or dispersed, heavy 6, 12, -2, 4 damage. He's horrifying. And his Thunderous Footfalls are just 3 attacks at 8, -2, 2 damage. You can buy him Counterfire Defense System. Your Pulse Driver Cannon can be replaced with a Pulse Blast Cannon, which I think you always will, for that sweet, sweet Strength 16 to one-shot a knight. You can buy Twin Air Bursting Fragmentation Launchers instead of and a Burst Cannon. You can buy an Early Warning Override System or a Storm Surge Multi-Tracker. And you can replace your Velocity Tracker with a Counterfire Defense System. I think you just would. I think you'd always buy Counterfire Defense System to keep him alive. And then he can do Stabilizing Anchors. He takes an action at the start of your movement phase. It's completed at the start of your next shooting phase. Is successfully completed until the end of the phase. Each time this model makes a range attack, reroll the hit roll. So basically, you can take this action and then complete at the start of your next shooting phase. Now, he's not core. If it's successful, then you can reroll hit rolls with all your guns on a 4+ now. Walking Battleship. This model is eligible to declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. Each time this model makes a normal move, advances or falls back, can be moved across other models, excluding monsters or vehicles if they weren't there. Blows up on a 6. Every enemy, each unit within 2d6 takes d6 mortal wounds and has a 4+ invul. He's a pretty horrifying gun platform. Again, biggest weakness is bullet skill 4+. But obviously marker lights can fix that, and yeah, it's pretty terrifying that you can do that. Now, he's not core or anything like that, so you can't shout at him with somebody to make him be able to take that action and not have it fail. So I don't think even the Ethereals can do that. Yeah, it's just core units, unless the shout affects everything. I can't remember now for the life of me. Hang on 1 second. Does the shout affect everything? Storm of Fire, yeah, it's 10 power core. So friendly core only. So the action would have to take place because it's complete at the start of your next shooting phase. But, I mean, you give your first turn shooting to be able to reroll hit rolls for everything and drop your anchors. Pretty cool. And that's it. We're looking at Tau, the most horrifying shooting army in the game now. So one last note, I'm not going to go through the point values because it's boring and I've just spent a very long time going through this book. If there's 3 point values, it's each time you take the system, the value for those systems goes up. So you have to pay more points when you multiply a system, as obviously you're dedicating something to a certain role. So like buying a air bursting fragmentation launcher. If you buy 3 of them, the first one's 10, the second one's 15, the third one's 20. So you're paying a grand total of 45 points to have 3 of them. And then there you go. There's the rest of your point values. And that's it. So, well, they're going to do what they do really well. They're going to shoot really well. Again, I don't know that there's a sept I would take outside the main one, just the Tau one. They seem just, maybe this one for the being able to have better suits and vehicles. But getting CP rerolls on everything, 3 inches to your aura abilities, which means you reroll once for your commanders and stuff that you're taking, you're going to be up by 1. And then your Warlord gets a 5+ wound shrug. And you can still take the other signature system to get that as well. So, yeah, it's pretty great. I do have to say that they have absolutely horrifying shooting, but I think that they're a little glassier than people are realizing. The only thing that's tough to say is the Storm Surge. Everything else is 7 or less. 3+ armor is pretty much everywhere. Your Iridium stuff for 2+ saves is going to be in 1 out of 3 suits. And then they really rely on the marker light action to gain better ballistic skill, because most of it, like Crisis Bodyguards, are 4+. There's no 3+ shooting here. Right, it's all 50-50 shooting unless the marker lights go off. So their gear needs to do damage when it lands for them to feel amazing. Also, the coordinated overwatch is just gone. It's not in here anymore. So having to eat shots from every unit when you charge one of them just isn't a thing. They replaced that with suits can shoot in combat. You know, you have like this up close and personal sort of like firefight ability now, as opposed to having everything firing fire at you as you go in. So there's less feel bads for the charges, and you can basically just use your guns all the time. So that's it. There's our look at the Tau Empire Codex. Whoa, it's a big one. Holy moly, it's a big book at this point. Mostly because there's a gajillion options. So what do I think? I think this army is going to be a real fun army to customize and build and paint. and make some big centerpiece models for. I think it does do, I think if they were trying to make a technology army that appropriately does damage with shooting, this is gonna be a big one. But the way that the paths and stuff work, where it's either offensive or defensive, you're making some pre-game choices that are gonna affect how you score later on. They're also tied to your scoring right out of the book, so I don't even know if the actual bespoke objectives in here are that attractive. I think the only one I'd probably consider taking is the first one. The one that's limited down to 12 points overall for Montcar or Kion, I probably wouldn't even take. I would probably just take the one that could score me 15. And then, because you can only take one out of this book anyway, right? I'd want the one that I could maximize my scoring out of. Where is that? It's the install one. The button pushing, right? Because it's not even, it's really just about where I can get to. And there's lots of ways of getting around here by dropping in and pushing buttons and stuff. And then lots of ways of being able to complete actions and still shoot. So with ethereals and stuff, with being able to move your, you know, your guy super fast with like these like big pushes of like +8 to movement and stuff. Lots of ways of doing stuff, still shooting, completing these actions. I feel like the shadow operation is the one I would take, and then I'd take 2 out of the chapter approved book. These ones, no. No thanks, not into them. The ethereals ones, again, Storm of Fire and Sense of Stone is probably what you're going to use, or gain a command point if you need it. But you could make an army around the Fire Warriors and stuff. I feel like it's still just going to be built around the suits. If you take them, it's attacks. And yeah, that's kind of it. You're giving up OBSEC to play Farsight Enclaves, so I don't know if I'd ever do that. I'd have some OBSEC units of Fire Warriors and stuff maybe in my cheapy Devilfish, because the Devilfish are pretty cheap. Sub 100 points for, you know, 13 wounds, time to 7, 3+ save. Their guns are still dangerous. It gets you where you want to go push buttons. And they carry 12 infantry, right? So you throw an ethereal and a unit in there, they get out, they push the button, still shoot because the ethereal says so, and you can score the 15 off those button push ones and just have them go. So anyway, there it is. And actually, you get that button push by taking your 2 things, the Kion thing. And then you use the, where is it? You use the one where you get to move faster. You're picking which of these basically, so in the first 2 turns, you can have 3 Devilfish fly up with your Stratagem, which is Combat Disembarkation. So you do it so that in the first, second, or third battle rounds, 3 Devilfish can fly forward. And you do the super far thing. So for 1 CP, 3 of your Devilfish, because I took Montcar, get to fly their full distance and then get out and then move and then push a button. So you're talking about they deploy out and then how far can they go? Devilfish move 12, I think. 12 plus 3 plus 6. So 12 plus 9, 21 inches. You push the first 2 immediately. You push the one in your deployment zone, and you got 3 of them on turn 1. Yeah, almost guaranteed you could do that. Yeah, 12-inch move. So there you go. So you get out. Can you get out when you... until the end of the phase, each time one of those models... So if you selected the Montcar tactical philosophy at the start of your rune, select 3 Devilfish models from your army. Until the end of the phase, each time one of those units makes a normal move, then they can disembark. And they can't charge this turn. But they could run. So there you go. You get out with your ethereals and guys and go push 3 of the 4 on the first turn, basically. I think it'd be very hard to stop you scoring the 9 almost right away. And then you just need one of the 2 pincer units to go survive to score 15. So, I mean, you're talking about 400 points probably to score 9 in the first turn, but that's 9 in the first turn. It's pretty hard to oppose. So, I don't know. It's just my first initial thoughts about it. There'd be ways of getting around, and that button push feels like your secure Octarius data for this edition. And yeah, and they are appropriately terrifying to do shooting and stuff with. So I'm excited about it. I think Tau players will be excited about it. It's going to be fun to paint these new suits. Obviously, I mean, they're not that new, but I've wanted to paint a Ghost Kill for a while. I'd love to paint a Riptide and maybe do like a little suit army. I love the new broadsides. Yeah, just paint some mecha. It sounds like fun. So anyway, big thanks for watching. We'll see you for more GMG reviews. Till then, I'm Ash. Hey there, I hope you enjoyed that video. There are tons of other games already recorded for you to watch. Click over to my channel page if you haven't already, and have a look through the dozens of playlists full of videos. I guarantee you'll discover a game you haven't seen played before. I put out new videos 7 days a week, and every day is themed to a different genre as I continue to explore the wider world of gaming. Of course, none of that's possible without you, the viewer, so click a like and subscribe if you'd like to stay on top of what's happening here daily. My 2 kids and I are massively grateful to be able to have the flexibility of this job so I can always maximize my time with them. If you want to support me continue to put out this content, it's only possible because of my amazing backers on Patreon who support the studio, equipment, and model cost, as well as being how I make the bulk of my living. You can also help out by buying a t-shirt through Spreadshirt, a measuring gauge or widget from Death for Designs, or buying one of my games and supplements like Last Days, Gamma Wolves, and Blaster. As a way of showing my appreciation, patrons get early access to new games and supplements that I write throughout the course of the year. Huge thanks for watching, it really does help out, and happy gaming.